Good morning. How's everybody doing? Tuesday, September 23rd. Markets trading at all-time highs. NQ, ES, all-time high on NQ, all-time high on ES, all-time high on YM. Everything sitting at all-time highs. Tough price action to trade. Tried to take a short yesterday and hop in front of a moving train and got ran the hell over. Market just opened at 9:30. You know the drill. We're not going to take any trades for at least the first 15 minutes. We're just going to kind of let it work itself out here. But since taking all-time high in the overnight session, NQ just kind of chopped around and stood around the VWAP here. ES, same thing, just went sideways price action. Same with YM. Um, While we wait to get through the first 15 minutes, let's check and see if we got any news. This is a habit you guys should form, checking red folder news every day. Early morning, we had a Fed speaker around 8:30 and then one again at 9 o'clock. At 9:45, we do have PMI. And then looky who's there. Fed Papa Powell speaks at 12:35, which we will be done by 12 o'clock. So there is no reason that we should be in a trade around that time, speaking for us personally. Um, so 9:45 PMI, like to see a nice candle, possibly have some data wicks form, and take an inversion to the other side. Let's go over some promos here, what's active, what's not. Um, Apex Trading's got 80% off in 1 day pass. That ends tonight at midnight. Blue Sky 25% off. Buell Knox has 91% off option 1 accounts with 1 day pass, which ends on September 30th. And then they also have 75% off option 2 accounts, which is their end of day accounts, which ends on September 28th. That code is a little bit different. It's SPOF2 instead of just regular SPOF. Day traders here, they dropped a sale. They've got 90% off, 90% off trailing accounts, 80% off static accounts, and 40% off straight to funded accounts. They have automated payout approvals. These sales, they did not give an end date, but let's just go with the 28th to be on the safe side. Then we've got Funded Futures Network. It's 50% off, no activation fee, and buy one, get one free. Funded Next Futures just released a bunch of updates and changes to their program today. I don't have all the details, but something along the lines as the legacy accounts no longer have a daily loss limit, and they decreased the prices on the legacy accounts. And on the rapid accounts, the price increased just a little bit. But it is 100% profit split with them, no payout caps, and a payout guarantee that if you do not get your payout within under 24 hours, they give you an extra $1,000. That's pretty cool. Funding ticks, 20% off all accounts. Lucid Trading, big up and coming, no drama, no crazy changes. 40% off Lucid Test accounts. You can pass in 1 day and then get a payout in only 5. And then they have 30, if you want to skip the evaluation, you can get 30% off their Lucid Direct accounts, which have 8 day payouts. Then this morning, My Funded Futures just dropped a brand new sale for new users who's never had an account on their platform. So you can get 50% off any account, Core, Scale, or Pro for new users only, and that is limited to only one account. That's a hell of a deal. If we come over here and we look at it, all in, because they have no activation fee on any of their accounts, you can get a 50K core for $39 total. And if you pass the first time, it only costs you $39. Or you can get their scale account where the payouts scale up at $64. Pretty good deal there. If I wasn't already trading on their platform, I'd be hopping on that all day long. So FIDA's prop firm, 80% off one-time payment challenges. That means they have no activation fee. And then they've got 60% off their evaluations. Take Profit Trader, there's a lot I can say, but basically all you need to know is daily payouts, no consistency. Once then pro, you can take payouts every day. It's 40% off, no activation fee, and you can get a 25K account funded as long as you pass the eval on the first time for less than $100, or 50K for 102. That's an amazing deal. The futures desk just dropped 70% off static accounts with no activation fee and 50% off end of day accounts, also with no activation fee. Tick Tick Trader running 65% off their direct to funded or instant accounts, the S2F plus ones. Then Trade Day, 30% off all accounts, no activation fee, and daily uncapped payouts. And Tradeify is 30% off all accounts. But if we come back over here and we look at my funded futures, I mean, just look at the breakdown on that. 50% off ends on September 30th. You've got all these different account choices and can get funded completely for $39. I mean, that's a hell of a deal. Let's come back over here, take a look at these charts, see where we're at, see if the market is going to give us anything to trade. I would like to look at Asia and London overnight. So we can see Asia high and low formed here on NQ. Then London took out Asia high and Asia low, which that can be a telltale sign that it is going to be a choppy day. Good morning, OVO. How you doing? Looking at ES, you can see Asia, London, and highs. Asia high and lows both formed, and then London took out both high and lows. Choppy. Choppy. YM, I mean, damn, just took off. Off the open there, we're up roughly about 150 points. Whereas the other two, NQ is going down. ES kind of went up a little bit, but not much. So let's wait till 9:45 here, where we've got that PMI red folder news coming out, and see if it gives us anything. Got NQ selling off a little bit here. YM going straight vertical, up almost 200 points there. ES just kind of sitting still. How are we looking on gold? Gold has also been rather choppy since London closed. Just a ping pong action here. Oil, it is trending up, but kind of choppy here off the open. Yes, yesterday we slow grinded up um, all the way to new all-time highs above 2,500 for the first time ever. And then you have my dumbass self over here trying to hop in front of a train. I should have gotten out when that short I was in was up about $500. I believe you were on the stream for that. Ended up closing and being down for a slight loss on the day, but it is what it is. Stuck to my plan. What can you do? Lesson learned though, don't short all-time highs unless you get an absolute higher time frame change in the state of delivery. We've got plenty of accounts to give away. Got some from Apex, got some from Fidus, got some from My Funded Futures, Tick Tick Trader. We got tons of accounts to give away here, but we ain't just no views yet. We're slowly picking up some traction here. When I started back last Monday, I only had like 1 or 2 viewers. I think yesterday we got up to 8, so we're slowly getting there. So once we get about 10 viewers in here, I'll do a randomized giveaway with a spin the wheel, 1 out of 10, you know, for an Apex account, any size you want. But I think, like I said before, doing a giveaway with less people than that, it's kind of pointless because it's kind of like a participation award. So the main thing we're going to be watching here is we've got Red Folder News at 9:45 in about 4 minutes. Um, would like to see what that gives us. Don't want to enter anything prematurely here in the first 15 minutes anyway, and then also having Red Folder News at 9:45. Just gonna stay patient here and see what we get. Is looking at the overall, we just chopped since we made new all-time highs there at 25.02725. We just chopped around. Now are we having a retracement here, or are we going to see a reversal back down to rebalance? Mark out yesterday's. Whoops. I have yesterday's previous day low. And then we have previous day high. We throw a fib up in between here. I just have to see and wait for the market to show its hand here. Anyone else that's on the stream that hasn't subscribed or liked, please do so. Drop a message in the chat. Once we get up to about 10 live viewers, I'll run a giveaway. Got some people hopping in, not saying anything. Have to at least drop one message in the chat if you want a chance to win. Got news in less than a minute here. 30 seconds till 9:45 red folder news, which is PMI. We do have some sell side down here. And previous day high sitting up there. We do have some equal highs. 9:45 hit. That has got to be the most uneventful PMI I think I've ever seen in my life. Numbers are out. No reaction here. What the hell was that? ES, nothing. YM going straight vertical here. NQ, nothing. GC, nothing. CL, nothing. Alrighty then. That was not what I was looking for. We literally got no reaction whatsoever. That was about the most uninteresting data I have ever seen in my life. Alright, we've got this leg right here. We've also got a bearish order block here. So if we could get a potential retrace up here to the 62% level, which also aligns with this 1 minute fair value gap. So we enter at 62%. High would go 2 ticks above there, which would be 991.25. So we want to do a sell at 24,972. Right there. Our entry would have been 972.25. The high of that candle 971.50. So this needs to be 0.25. Talk about rough there. I kind of didn't really get our order out there in time, even with what we were hoping. We were hoping to hit the 62% retracement level there. They might come up here and tap us in. Or it might just leave the station without us. We gonna get tapped in here? Looking like it. Entering a macro time here. Come on. Let us in there. You gonna let us in? I should have just marketed into that order there. But we formed a double top there. Same high on both of those candles, 971.50. Oh, that's rough. Ouch. Oh, that hurts a little bit. Would have been up about 140 ticks there. Should have put my entry order in around the 50% retracement mark. All right, we've got a SMT here. So change thesis here. So we just had a sweep of this low. We formed a 1 minute fair value gap. NQ made a new low there. ES did not. YM's off doing its own thing. We are inside of a macro. So we've got SMT there at the lows. We have a sweep of this low with a 1 minute singular fair value gap. So if we get a candle close above this 1 minute fair value gap, I may be looking for a long entry to the upside. It would be something like this. A few points shy of all-time high. Low 2 points below this low, which the low is 38.25. So we would need to be 37.75, which would be a 1 to 274 risk to reward. So, but looking like we're going lower to my original entry that I missed by literally like 2 ticks. Talk about tough. I think my original target was like 903.75. That trade would have taken literally like no drawdown either if we would have got tapped in there. Yeah, still not making a new low. NQ did make a new low. YM making new highs. Excuse me. My order history was to go short at 97225, and the high here was 971.50. 971.50. So excuse me, 3 ticks off from that short, which would have been up about 170 ticks now. That has me a little heated. Still showing SMT liking that reaction there. So we're going to be risking about 127 ticks with a target of about 252 ticks. So if we get a close above that 1 minute fair value gap there, inside of a macro, SMT at the lows here, swept this liquidity. Let's throw standard deviation on it just to see where we line up. Standard deviation not lining up too well here, so it'll probably be a continuation down. ES currently sitting around the VWAP there. YM just ungodly move off open. 270. Looks like NQ is going to come down, hit my original target from that original trade that I didn't get tapped in on, that was 3 ticks away. What they say in Pokemon, you can't catch them all. All right, we're back here looking like we might get an entry on this trade. So this time, if we do get a close above here in about 11 seconds, we're just going to mark it in. Looking for a close above this 1 minute fair value gap to go long. I have about 30 seconds left on this candle that's currently being built. Looking like we might get a little order block formation in there. Okay, that's what we want to see. About 30 seconds left, looking for a close above. Another trade that we could take here with not a lot of risk is this 1 minute just inversed. We could enter here, stop 2 ticks above this high, target this low. For continuation down. We're just going to market into this. We are in there. Just have to trade what the market gives us. We want to move this stop 2 ticks above this high. So this high is at 24,960. So this needs to be 24,960.50 right there. Looking like we may get stopped out here. I'd like to see that little swing high there hold. You know, this is a risking 60 ticks to make 168, risk of 1 to 1 or 2.8, and that's where we're about to get stopped. Swept that high there. But if we do get stopped, I will flip long here, stop underneath these lows. Okay, so stopped out, risk about 80 ticks to make 250. But we need to see that 1 minute inverse there. I'm gonna be real pissed if I just got stopped out by a damn tick after missing the trade by 3 ticks earlier. Market's really playing with me today. My stop was at 24,960.75 and I got stopped out at 24,961.75. So by 1 point on that short. Waiting for this 1 minute to inverse here. If it gives us an inverse. We're going to get an inverse here. Nope. Still haven't cleared it. About 5 seconds left here. We're going to get an inverse. Negative. So we've inversed on the 3 minute here. And a singular 3-minute fair value gap, which we have inversed. So we'll enter at this 3-minute around 9:52:50, which is right here. So we're just going to go long, stop below the low. We were waiting for that 1 minute, but we got a singular 3-minute. So we're entered at 53. Stop is 29.25. And target is 28. Which I don't want to go all the way to 28 because that's going to be higher than the previous day high, or basically the exact same thing. I would like to go a few points short. So let's do 23.75. How you doing? I'd like to see this 3-minute fair value gap now inverse. So we have a hard stop on all of our Lucid 150K straight to funded accounts and our Tradeify of $1,000 a day. And that is programmed into the Tradeivate risk settings. So if we do hit negative 1,000 on those accounts, I will be auto liquidated. Whereas the Apex accounts are 300K evals, they have a hard loss limit of 2,000. So we've got a little bit more room on those. And the my funded futures, I think the loss limit's like $500 or something. So we want to see this 3-minute fair value gap over here inverse. We're in at 24,953, targeting 25, 23.75. Stop at 24,929.25. Entry was based off a sweep of this low and then an inverse of a 3-minute fair value gap, which we inversed it, but now we're just having a stall fest here. And I'm not a pattern trader, but if we throw up some trend lines over here, that's currently what we're working with. Price just kind of bouncing between these areas here. We need to see a break either to the upside or to the downside. I'd like to see a breakout to the upside. Looks like we're just getting stuck in chop right here. Where are we going, guys? Up or down? Just chop it around here, 24,950. That's another psychological level like I've been talking about on stream for the last 2 weeks. These rounded whole numbers, 150, 1,000, blah, 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 where people set a lot of orders and they act as magnets. Not looking like we're going to hold here. Could be wrong, no. ES moving lower. YM starting to move lower. And we're about to get stopped out. Are we going to flip green here? Come on, give us a big push up. That'd be nice. I was mentally wanting to close there because of how close it was to my stop, but I'm just taking my hands off the mouse and let the trade work itself out. ES took out the low around 10 o'clock there, but NQ has not. YM has definitely not. We need to see this level hold here. We will get stopped. Come on, give us a big push up out of there. Come on, big push, big push. We need a big push here over 24,950. We need to get away from this area. We need to go up and we need to inverse this 3-minute fair value gap here. Have to break out my tools like I've been doing. Hammer doesn't really work to the upside. What would you guys use instead of a hammer to try to get the message or try to get price to the upside? Blow on it, some wind. That's what we want to see. That's a nice candle there. Come on. I got it. I got it. I know what we'll do here. Let me find it. I'll put a piece of dynamite under its ass. Light that on fire. I'm going to light this dynamite up. Have a nice explosion to the upside here and pull us up to our target. That's what we need to see. Come on. Light that match. Let's go. We had a SMT down here too, so ES did come and sweep this 1003 low, where NQ did not, so we've got a SMT right here. But NQ just not being able to get any gas to get over this area. Come on. New viewers stopping in, welcome to the stream. If you haven't, please like, subscribe, drop a message in the chat. We get up to 10 viewers, we'll do a giveaway. Currently sitting at about 7. So, but you have to at least subscribe, like, and drop a message in the chat to be able to participate in the giveaway. It'll be for an Apex account, any size that you'd like. 25 up to 300K. Come on, don't do me like that. Also see the pinned message in the chat. If you haven't signed up for our giveaway on the Save on Prop Firms website, make sure you do that. That drawing will be tomorrow. That's what we want to see. Come on. Give us a push higher. We need to inverse that 3 minute fair value gap there. Then I'll feel a little bit better. I don't know if any of you guys saw, but My Funded Futures just dropped a sale. If you've never had an account with them, they've got 50% off any account for a new user. It's limited to only one account. You can get that with code SOPF. So you can get a 50K core account for literally like $39 all in if you can pass it on the first try. So it's $39 for the account, then there's no activation fee. It's like 39 bucks. You can't beat that. Come on, we need a push up out of this area or we're gonna see lower lows here. And that's not what I want to see. I need to see a move to the upside. My dynamite is not working. I think maybe we need to add another stick. But that could also work in reverse. It could just blow a hole in the damn floor. See, markets are it's stalling here because we're out of sync. ES is trying to move down, while NQ is trying to move up. And NQ, or excuse me, YM is also moving down. Maybe we'll see a retracement down here on YM do its VWAP and a nice pop back up, which hopefully should bring the other two in sync. But we need NQ to break away from this 24,950 area, or we're just going to sit here and chop like this, about 10 points to either direction. Just stalling out here. Come on, up, up, baby. For copy trading, I am executing on Quantower on my Lucid Rhythmic accounts, and then I am using Trade Syncer to copy trade in between Rhythmic and Trade accounts. That's a cloud-based copy trader. Um, it works pretty good. I've had a couple issues out of it here and there, but about 90% of the time it works good. One I'm watching, waiting for him to add Rhythmic, is a local copy trader called Trade Copia, something like that. They currently have Tradeovate and Project X support and are working on adding Rhythmic. And I like that one a lot better than a cloud version because it runs locally on your computer instead of in the cloud. Whereas as long as your computer or your internet doesn't crash, um, you should be fine. Whereas the cloud, a lot of things can go wrong there. Um, and that's typically what leads to the issues that I've seen with TradeSyncer. Currently sitting at about 8 viewers now, but only one like on the video. Y'all drop a like on there, please. Um, get us 2 or 3 more viewers on here. Like I said, we'll do a giveaway, but everybody's at least got to like, subscribe, and drop a message in the chat. And so far, we've only had one, two, three, 4 people drop a message in the chat. Everybody likes free accounts. Everybody likes free stuff, right? We gotta break away from this 24,950 area. It's literally just holding price there like a magnet, not letting us go anywhere. Come on, get up there and inverse that 3 minute. That's what we want to see. Price looking like it wants to move higher here. We need to inverse that 3 minute while also closing above that VWAP if we would like to see price move higher. Up a little bit, right back down to 950s. Up a little bit, right back down to 950s. Yes, making a new low there from its 10 o'clock low. YM has retraced down to its VWAP. And if we look at this leg off of open, is below the 50% and the discount. Would like to see a bounce here back higher, and hopefully that would get NQ and ES in sync a little bit more, because that's another reason why we're not really moving here. You got NQ trying to go up, you got ES going down, you got YM going down. So the markets are supposed to be fluid and all move together. Um, and right now they are not. Just hovering here around 24,950. Like I said early on in this video, when you have London take out Asia high and lows before the 9:30 New York Open, you will typically see choppy price action like this, and that's exactly what we're seeing. So if we redraw these fancy lines here that we call trend lines, just to see where price is doing, wedging, triangle, whatever you want to call it. Price is just bouncing back and forth here. Come on, get over it. Get us above the 960s here. See 960s and a move up above 980. Okay, over 960s. Come on, put some gas in the tank. Let's go. Up about 50 ticks on this trade. If we inverse that 3-minute there and close above that VWAP, I will move my stop up above break even. We're currently inversing the 3-minute, and price hit that VWAP and is having a small rejection here. I would like to see a close above the VWAP to go break even. ES made equal lows down here and did have a nice displacement candle back up there. YM is still holding its VWAP right around the 50% retracement level off of the leg it had it open. So we have a 3-minute inverse here now. Like to see it close above that VWAP there. Don't tell me you had that nice move away from 950s and you're just going to go right back to 950s again. And this is what I mean by the market being out of sync. NQ is moving down. YM is moving up. Should have went break even earlier on that when we took out these highs. $9.50 magnet. Right back to it. Where you guys think we're going, long or short? We're going up, we're going down. I don't like how price got up there to the VWAP and then rejected back down. I do not like that. But hand off the mouse. The only thing I'm going to do for this trade is if we close above that VWAP, I will move my stop up above break even. Other than that, I'm just going to let it play out. But my gut is telling me I'm about to get stopped out here. That's what my gut's telling me. Not looking good, guys. Not looking good. Tough day today. Very slow, painful hold here. Price is like not respecting any of these PD arrays. Forms an inverse, goes the opposite direction. Closes above, closes below. Fair value gap turns into an inverse, inverse turns into a balanced price range, and then just uh, so Tick just dropped an update. Code SOPF will give you 65% off all of their S2F Plus accounts. So you can buy the singles, you can buy the bundles of 5 or the bundles of 10, and even the bundles of 10 are 65% off. Or if you pay with crypto or Skrill, you can get 70% off. That's a hell of a deal there. I like how they bundled them together like that, where you can buy 5 or 10 at a time. I wish other prop firms would take notice of that. And let us buy more than one account at a time. It's kind of a pain in the butt to sit there and have to buy 5 or 10 or 20 accounts in a row and go through 20 checkout processes, and then your credit card come back and say, hey, we suspect some fraud on this account because you've made the same charge to the same company 20 times in the last 10 minutes. It's like, no, bro, that was me just over here being a degenerate. My bad. It is me. It's a valid charge. No need to report any fraud or lock me out of my card. Thanks. Any that happen to anybody else? Right back to 950 again. YM going up after bouncing off the VWAP. NQ trying to go down. ES looking like it wants down. I need NQ to go up. But the chat is mixed here on the poll as far as where are we going. 50% say long, 50% say short. Yeah, Tick Tick Trader, I've heard before, will sometimes set off a fraud alert because they are in another country, Dubai, I think. So a lot of credit card companies be like, hey, is this valid or are you getting scammed by somebody? But I've heard a lot of people get stopped with Tick Tick Trader on like the first or second transaction. But that's a hell of a deal they've got going though. 65 or 70% off on even the bundles. We are just stuck at 950. The price just says, all right, I'm chilling here. Yesterday was a tough day, made new all-time highs. I'm super overextended and stretched out, so we're just going to have a relaxing, nice, laid, chilled back day here. We're just going to screw people on both sides of the market, as many as we can. Nice little pop there. Ask you guys, what do you think? If price gets back up there around that VWAP at those last highs, you think I should just flatten? That would put me green on the day in every account. Or you think I should just let this play out? What do you guys think? Because we're coming up on 11 o'clock here. We're in a macro again. So macro of 1050 to 1110. All right, how about this? If this candle that's currently being built that still has a minute left gets up there to those previous highs and closes above the VWAP, I will stay in the trade. But if it gets up there and just wicks above the VWAP and does not close above the VWAP, I will get out of the trade. like that thought process better. Didn't even get up there to the VWAP. Just stuck at 950. 950 is the number today. ES bounced off its VWAP, rejected back down, wicked back down. This is a paint drying price action that just lulls you to sleep. Yeah, I think because of the movement here, if we get back up to the VWAP, I'm just going to close, take my small little green day, and walk away. But like I said, that's all based on if we close above it or not on the 3 minute. That's what I want to see. But my gut is still telling me that we're going down. I hope my gut is wrong. Nobody likes having a red day, but red days are okay as long as they're controlled and you do not tilt on them. Inside the macro time, right at 11 o'clock, seeing nice little pickup in volume there, but not in the direction we wanted in. Something weird's going on with my internet. Looking at the concurrent viewers in YouTube Studio, and it'll say we have so many viewers, and all of a sudden it'll just drop to like none. This huge spike down, and then a second later it'll spike right back up. Not sure what's going on. Intermittent internet issues or something. Ain't that the truth, Faye? I guess it was from the other day when you were on here where price went all the way up to where my stop was and didn't grab it by one tick. And now I'm not getting taken out or putting in, entering or getting my exit like I should. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're about to get stopped right here. It would just be luck right here if we don't get stopped. But I do not think luck is on my side today. Okay, ES swept that low over there. So ES swept the 715 low. And it's 957 low. NQ has not. So the only way that we don't get stopped here is if this is signaling a reversal inside of the macro time. But I don't think so. SMT at the low there. That would be the only thing we got going for us because there's no other PD array here. Would be ES sweeping its low and NQ not. So we'd have a SMT at the lows. But we're having a decent sized reaction there. So maybe luck is on my side today. I guess we're about to find out. I need it to be on my side. Can you be on my side? Is it Lady Luck, Mr. Luck, Uncle Luck, Auntie Luck, Grandpa Luck? So SMT from 10 a.m. low. That's about the only thing we got going for us here. If that holds. Price is edging my stop there. Not the type of edge that I want to see. I'm going to get you. I'm not going to get you. I'm going to get you. I'm not going to get you. Just going to consolidate for the last 2 hours. The internet is wigging out here. YouTube Studio keeps saying, excellent connection, no connection, excellent connection, no connection. Price pulling back up here to 24,950s for another round of consolidation. Price getting up there to 950 again. The magnet. Yeah, it was edging my stop, huh? How many ticks away? The low there is 24,932.25. So 2 points away, 8 ticks. Somehow the trade is back green again. But we need to break to one of these sides away from 950. Price needs to get away from 950 or we're just going to continue to do this crap all day long. All right, after that edge on the stop down there, chat, do you think that I should close up here at VWAP or should I just let this thing run? I'm thinking if we close above VWAP, I'll move my stop above break even and then I'm going to let it run. That sound like a good plan? Yeah, there won't nothing else to that except being lucky there. That's literally it. Because there was nothing really stopping that from going and sweeping that low. But we're going to go right back to 950 if we do not get up above this VWAP and close above it. We're just going to continue going sideways. So, and my auto liquidation time is set for 45 minutes from now at lunchtime, New York time. So at 12 o'clock, regardless of what happens between my stop and my take profit with this trade, I will be auto liquidated out of it. So, and that is to protect myself from over trading, and that is to also protect me from sitting in front of the charts all day, wearing my eyeballs out, getting a massive headache, because that's what happens a lot. You sit in front of the charts all day long and you try to trade all day long, and every move you see, you get burnt out. Your brain gets exhausted, your eyes hurt. Come on, if we edged my stop that close and we don't break to a new internal high here, I'm going to be a little bit heated. We need to get away from 950s. We need to break to the upside away from 950s. You got YM there sitting around its equilibrium and VWAP just kind of chilling. Right back to 950 again. Interesting news that just dropped a minute ago, not to be any type of political, but it says YouTube admits that the previous administration pressured them to censor channels, offers terminated and banned channels opportunity to rejoin the platform. That's pretty cool. That's a win. I know, like, Steve Will Do It lost his channel, and a bunch of other people lost their channels. Good to see him back on the platform. Hey, Kadam, Kadam, I don't know how to say your name. Hopefully, I'm not saying it wrong. Kadam, when we get to 10 viewers, I'm going to do a giveaway for an Apex account, any size of your choice. We are currently sitting at 6. So we need about 10 viewers in here, and then we'll do a random spin on a wheel type deal. I think 1 out of 10 is good odds, and fair for everyone. Well, as I was talking about that giveaway, we got another viewer, so we're at 7 now. So y'all get us up to 10, or we get up to 10 on the stream. Like I said, I give away an account. Come on, move it in queue. Let's go. Come on. If we see a candle close, a 3-minute candle close above that VWAP, I will move my stop above break even. This price is just stalling here. Not getting anywhere. Come on, NQ, you can do it. You can do it. 6 votes on the poll. 50% long, 50% short. Price trying to get over the VWAP here. Got to give it some extra juice. Need to pull it up over the VWAP there. Give us a nice explosion here to the upside. Come on, let's go. Need to get over that previous high, that internal high there at 24,975.25 for a continuation upward. Price still struggling here. Looks like we're probably going to go back down to 24,950s again and consolidate for another 5 freaking hours. I am going for a deeper retracement here, giving up its VWAP. Hopefully we see a nice pushback up here off the 62% retracement level. If we close below the 79%, we're definitely probably going for the low down here. ES just stagnant. NQ rather stagnant. I've got about 32 minutes before my auto liquidation time sets in on Rhythmic and liquidates me, which will be end of the trading day for me, regardless of what happens here between on this trade. So a judgment call for me would be, instead of moving stop, to break even. Once the last time price got up here above at this high, this internal high that formed, I was in profit for the day. So if price comes back up here and we break above that high, I'm just going to flatten everything out. I'm just going to go ahead and get out of this trade, walk away with a small green day. Coming up on 11:30 here in about 20 seconds. May see a little influx of some volume. If you pay attention to the round numbers, just like price levels, but on time levels, you'll see that on the hour and at, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 different times after, you will see that next candle get a little bit more volume than the rest of the candles. Interesting to note that. This price action is just horrible. Anybody catch any good trades today? About the only thing you could have caught was pre-market before the 9:30 open, which was just Chop City. So if you did, you probably didn't catch anything for a very big move. Um, and if you would have taken the 9:30 open, you could have caught roughly about 50 points down. But that's about all we've been given today is a 50-point move um, down, and then we've kind of consolidated. So 9:30 high, or off the 9:30 high, was 25, call it 10, and the low of the day was 24,952. So about 60 points, roughly, give or take a few. And then we've only had a move from, we only had about a 40-point move since then. But you got to be careful with price action like this. If you get stuck in over trading or tilting, this is the type of stuff that'll just kill your accounts and cause you to blow up. So like I said, beginning of the stream, because London took out Asia high and low, I was anticipating a rather choppy day, and that's exactly what we've seen. There may be a little bit cleaner of a PM session after lunchtime, but I don't trade the afternoon session. The only time I end up trading the afternoon session is when I break all my rules, when I turn off my blocking software, ignore max losses, and it's when I'm on tilt. So I try not to do that as often as earthly possible. The price does get up there and take out that internal high marked at 24,975.25. I'm flattening this trade. Or actually, instead of flattening, what we'll do, 24,975. We will put it one tick, or actually that exact high there. And we'll do one tick above. One tick above that internal high. We're going to get out. If price can even get there. There we go, 950 just acting as a magnet here. Price is just stuck. I don't know what's going on with YouTube Studio. Like I said, I keep saying that I have an excellent connection, and then it says I have no connection to restart my streaming software. It's like little blips. ES making a new low there. YM with the deep retracement down here to 79%. And here comes the stop out. Yeah, it is brutal price action. One tick away from my stop. That happened again, or that happened the other day. If price reverses and goes up there to my target, I think I'm gonna go buy a lottery ticket. We are literally just stuck in this box right here. Come on, go up there and hit my TP. So if you do, it'll be nothing short of luck. Excuse me. Right back to 950s again. ES made a new low there. NQ just double bottomed. YM hitting the 79% retracement on that leg up from 930. Are we going to get lucky here? Did you guys see that? Literally one tick away from my stop. Stop's 24, 929.25. The low of that candle, 24, 929.50. One tick away. We had that happen the other day on stream too. If we go up here and we hit my target, I will go buy a lottery ticket because that is 1,000,000% luck and nothing else. If we get there, though. Because once again, we're stalling at the 24,950 area where we've been stalling out and consolidating all damn day. Nice push up there to 24,960s. We just need to go up there and sweep 24,975.50. That's all I want to do. Sweep this high right here. We can just make it up there. Come on, let's see some continuation up. Give us a little bit more. We had SMT again. ES made a new low. NQ double bottomed. YM, we're still retracing deeper. I'm not liking that on YM. But I'd like to see NQ give us a nice blast up and lead the pack here. Got about 10 minutes left before we get auto liquidated. Just gonna let it play out. Either get auto liquidated at a loss or profit or hits my TP or stop loss. That's about it. Stuck at 950. 8 minutes till auto liquidation time. Will I get auto liquidated or will one of my orders fill? That is the question. Or will I fall asleep first? This has been about the most brutal price action I've seen in a while. I mean, we've literally been in this block right here from 9:40 to 11:40. So for the last 2 hours, we've done nothing but just bounce up and down roughly about 45 points. 180 ticks, 45 points. That's all we've done is just bounce back and forth between here. Six minutes to auto liquidation time here. I think I'm probably going to get auto liquidated right around 24,950, where price has just been stagnant at for the last 2 hours. 5 minutes till 12 o'clock. How many times have I extended these 3-minute IFGs? Less than 4 minutes left here. Looking like stop's going to come down. Finally take out these equal lows here on NQ. Take my stop. 3 minutes left before auto liquidation time. Less than 2 minutes. And 1 minute to auto liquidation. Just gonna let it auto liquidate me at this point. Brutal price action today, not the type of day I wanted to have. Looking like we're gonna finish down quite a bit on the day. Auto liquidation now. Make sure I'm flat on everything. There it goes. All right, that's a tough one. One more time. Flat and all. Okay, down roughly 500 a piece on my Lucid 150K straight to fundeds. That's perfectly fine. My max or my personal daily loss limit on those was 1,000. Lost about $100 on each my funded futures 50K course and funded account. Those accounts have about $400 worth of drawdown left in each one after taking a payout Sunday night, Monday morning, and lost about 1,000 in all the Apex 300K accounts, which is okay. Those accounts had a $2,000 personal daily loss limit. So didn't hit personal daily loss limit. Also didn't tilt. I believe I only took 2 trades today. Both of them losses. That's perfectly fine. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Like I said, tomorrow or whenever we get up to 10 viewers, we'll start doing a giveaway. But we got to get up to at least 10. We're slowly growing. We started with 1 or 2, then 3 or 4, then today we were up